The story came to prominence in the book Story of My Life, which was the autobiography of one Augustus Hare. It was a 6-volume series about his travels and encounters around the world, and there's no mention of the exact year that this took place in the book. And in fact, the tale is reported in various places as having happened in different years. Some say 1871, others 1874, others still refer to it as 100 years ago. In some versions, the second attack happens prior to the trip to Switzerland, and in others, it happens afterwards. The part about the churchyard and the finding of the strange creature's body doesn't seem to add up, because the closest churchyard is about an hour away, on foot, and I'm not sure they'd have spent an hour running after a creature with a bullet in its leg. But in the 1930s, a researcher named Francis Clive Ross discovered that there had actually at one time been a chapel on the grounds which was built on the ruins of an earlier church. There's consternation around the location too, since the original story refers to Croglin Grange and specifies a single-storey house. There is no Croglin Grange these days, but Francis Ross did supposedly interview a Mrs. Perkin who knew a descendant of the Fisher family who had leased the property to the Cranswells. This descendant of the Fishers had told Mrs. Perkin that the deed to Croglin Low Hall had originally referred to the property as Croglin Grange. But Croglin Low Hall is a 2-storey building. Maybe it was rebuilt. In some reports, the family is named the Burrows. In others, they're called the Cranswells. So maybe this never happened. Maybe it's an embellished tale based on something rather more normal. It's obviously inspired this scene in John Badham's 1979 version of Dracula with Frank Langella. Had the story ended with the creature vanishing and never returning, I might be more inclined to entertain the notion that it might be based in some sort of fact. However, the stake through the heart and the burning of the corpse pushed it into make-believe for me, since this is the stuff of Dracula novels, isn't it? But then again, Dracula was published in 1879, and this story took place at least 5 years prior to this. But Dracula wasn't the first vampire tale in England either. There was already The Vampire by John Polidori, which was published in 1819. There was also a popular Penny Dreadful serial titled Varney the Vampire, which was in print between 1845 and 1847. Some researchers suggested that Amelia had simply seen the eyes of an owl at the window and that her imagination had done the rest.